that time of the year again in filing for homestead exemption. And if you have any questions on how to file for homestead, then this video is perfect for you. Today I will discuss how to file for homestead, particularly in Harris County and Montgomery County districts. Here, you may apply for homestead on your principal residence. Homestead exemptions remove part of your home's value from taxation, so they lower your taxes. Okay, that's the meaning of homestead exemption. It removes part of your home value, so it means your home values is lessened as far as taxes is concerned. How would you know first what county are you in? Remember, when you signed or closed in your home at the title company, the title company provided you like a title commitment. So it should be similar to this. I've kind of hidden some of the items here or information for privacy reasons, but this is like a title commitment that you should have received from your title company. And all you need to do is check out the legal description of the land, okay? For the legal description, you have to scroll down, like for instance here, it will say lot 6, block 2, example only, okay, of this particular property in section 6, a subdivision in Montgomery County, Texas. So there you go, you'll know that the particular property or the one that you purchase is located in Montgomery County. So it means to say all you need to do, Google Montgomery County Appraisal District and it will show, okay. Montgomery County Appraisal District. Okay, so if your property is located in Montgomery County Appraisal District, then this is the website that you'll go to. All you need to do is go to property search, okay? Then check out the property in question. Let's say I have a property in Montgomery County without homestead. So example of that. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a licensed tax advisor. Anything regarding to taxes, please contact the tax authority or your respective county appraisal district. All these information is for your viewing pleasure only and is provided as a courtesy. Okay, let's go on to this. 454 Patina Drive. Okay, example only. So this is owned by Wood Forest Development Corporation, a builder. So it means they don't have homestead. If you notice here, percent ownership, 100%, exemptions, blank. So that's the sample of a property with no homestead. So to verify if a property has homestead, let's get a property with homestead here. Take note, I'm just getting a property randomly. So if this is your particular property, it's no way to isolate you, but it's only for example purposes. Okay, in this case, this property located in 17059 Harper's Way, the owner filed for homestead. So if you notice, it says exemptions, homestead, 100%. So once you file for homestead, make sure to see that you have this word homestead, which means that the county appraisal district acknowledge your application and you have the homestead. This is 2022, since we have not started even 2022 yet, that's why it says NA, NA, NA. But if I drop this down to 2021, you will see the difference with homestead and non-homestead. Example, the assessed value of this house. This is not necessarily the market value of your home, but the assessed value for tax purposes. So it's $372,800. Typically, if it's non-homestead, if it does not have homestead, you'll be taxed at this amount, okay? But if you're applying for homestead, then that amount will decrease. If you notice here, okay, Montgomery County, see, there is a decrease here because he applied for homestead. There's a percentage of decrease. So that's around, if we kind of divide that, that's around 74,560 divided by 372,800. That's around 20%, okay, that you're getting. So if it means to say the taxable value now is just at 298,240, okay, they will base that on this rate. The same thing with the hospital, Lone Star College, that's an education college, and Mud District, I don't think they have exemptions, but Conroe, the school districts have exemptions, and I think it's mandated in 25,000. And the reason I know, if we look at here, because I also went to comptrollertexas.gov, and in order to, let's say if it's your home is appraised at 100,000 and you qualify for 25,000 exemption, which is, if you look at here, school district, right, same as what I'm showing you here, 25,000 school district, you will only pay school taxes on the home as if it was worth 75,000. Okay, so in here, in this case, the same thing. You're only paying at 347,800 instead of 372,800. I hope I'm making sense here. And this is just to explain to you, and once you apply for homestead, what will look like when you go to your respective appraisal districts. The same thing if you are in Harris County. Harris County Appraisal District. And click that. So you'll be led into this website. Go to property search. Search by address. I'll also show you the difference with exemption and without exemption. Again, I'm just using random address here. This is with homestead. Okay, let's see. Okay. And in Harris County, if I scroll down, you will see the exemption type. And it says here residential homestead. Okay, so this property has a homestead. And if you notice here, this is the exemption value. So it's differently, it's the same thing as Montgomery, but it doesn't show the value here. But the value is shown here, the assessed value. See here? 247,111. Okay, and the same thing here, it does not show, hang on here. Okay, it does show the Cypress ISD School District exemption value. So let's see if it's also 20%. So 74,422. I'm dividing that to the assess. Thinking that, let's see. 247,111. So that's around 30%. If the home is 247, subtract that to 247,111, subtract that to 74,422, then that's 172,689, 172,689. So they will base your taxes on 172,689, particularly for Cypress Fairbanks ISD. Okay, and the same thing here. All you need to do is subtract this amount to this, 49,422, to get the taxable amount of your property. It says here too that estimated taxes for this property can be found at Harris Property. Let's go there just to get an idea. And all you need to do here is to, I'm just putting out my head there, type the property information. Let's say Bar Lake Drive, search, market value 271, and as you can see, here are the estimated taxes, right? Property tax there. It also shows the difference, taxable value. Even the flood control, taxable value. See, as you can see here, remember the 172,689 that I was telling you about? Here's the taxable value. Okay, so just to give you an idea how this value came about. In order to take advantage of homestead exemption, all you need to do is go to forms. You can go to forms. If you are an old school, you don't want to fill up online, you can also go to forms and just hit all forms and just choose the form, particularly 11.13, right? And you can or even search it for residential homestead. Here. Before last year, there's no form. They implemented this since COVID, okay? Because they don't want you going out during COVID. That's why they implemented this, which is really good for us. Now it's faster. You can apply online, okay, once you file for homestead, okay? You can either complete this here and print it out and submit and sign, or online real time. For the account number, all you need to do is go here, property search, type your property in question. Example, I'll use a different one. The account number will be this. Okay, that's the number. So again, you type your property address in the search bar, then you'll be able to get the account number once you hit enter. Okay, and for that, you'll use this number. And you'll put that here, which I usually do in copy and paste. Okay, I just do copy and paste. And for the tax year, choose the tax year. If it's 2022 this year, then put 2022. Okay, and do you own live the property for which you are seeking this residence, homestead exemption? Yes, because it will be your primary residence. But if you bought a property for rental or investment property, you should not be filing this homestead exemption in the first place. For section 1, choose general residence homestead because it's your primary residence. If you're a disabled person, check that. If you're an age 65 or older, check that. And the same thing with here, whatever applies to you, check it. Okay? If you have a surviving spouse, put that there. Date of death, all of those stuff. And in here, it says your cooperative housing. Do you have an exclusive right to occupy this property because you own a stock? I don't think so on that part. Were you receiving a homestead on a previous residence? If you own the previous residence with homestead, then your answer here is yes. Okay, but if not, no. Are you transferring an exemption from a previous residence? If you are, hit yes. If not, no. Are you transferring a tax limitation? It will depend on your tax situation, but typically my answer here, if out to file my own, I'll say no. Previous residence, just put your previous residence and previous county here. For section 2, if you're a single adult, check that. Married couple, check that. Whatever it applies to you. Don't forget your driver's license, percent ownership interest, right? If you own the property 100%, single adult, put 100%. If it's a spouse, both of you, husband and wife, as long as it's total 100%, maybe 50-50. Okay, section 3, if I scroll down here, date you acquired the property, put the date when you closed. Date you began occupying the property. It's the same thing. Maybe you moved, when you acquired the property last year, but you begin occupying the property as your primary residence this year. Okay, so so the dates will not necessarily be the same. So it will depend on when you occupy the property as your principal residence. And put the physical address there. For the legal description, you can get that again in Property County Tax Appraisal District. So the legal would be this. Legal description, sample lot 13, block 3 up to here. That will be the legal description. And for all of these stuff, okay, just check whatever applies to you. For this manufactured home make, model, ID number, this is more if you own a manufactured home. If it's a single family home, it does not apply. Waiver of required. Indicate if you are exempt from the requirement to provide a copy of your driver's license. Okay, if you only have a waiver, okay, If it applies to you, then do this. If it does not, then don't do it. Provide additional. If you own other residential property, please list the county of location. Okay, if you own other residential property in Texas, it says here to list it. And what you can do here, just sign your name, click to sign. See, as I said before, they don't have this. You file this manually by printing it out, then mailing it. And you can do it that way as well, so at least it's sure they got it. Besides mailing it, you can also submit and sign here real time. See, submit and sign. And for title and authorization, just put property owner. That's your title because you own the property. And sign here and date. So they have online forms where you can also fill your homestead exemption. And in this case, what the difference here is you have to register and sign in. If you are in Montgomery County, I suggest use register and sign in. Here's the instruction. To submit the form, you must have an online forms account. Oh, you do not have to have a registered account to view forms, but to view or submit a form, then choose from the form you wish. If you're signed in, forms will automatically be saved every 3 minutes for your convenience. Register new account. Here, you have to register. If you can view the form, but once you submit the form, you have to register. Okay? It says here, if you do not have an account, please click the link below to register for one. If you do have an online forms account, use the sign-in feature to authenticate. So since I don't have a property to show you in Montgomery in order to me to real-time register here, if your property is located in Montgomery County, all you need to do is register. And the same thing, if I look at the forms here, if you notice, it's also online. The form is read-only. Please sign in and register to fill out the form. So basically, it's the same as, almost the same as Harris County, okay? And you need to enter the tax year for which you are filing. You're filing for 2022, okay? You have to put your previous, if you have a previous, it's almost the same as what I've explained in Harris County. So if it applies to you, then check it. Are you filing a late application? No, right? And so on and so forth. And typically, majority of the folks who are applying for homestead, let's say, do you live in a property for which you're seeking this residence homestead exemption? Yes, obviously. And if you say yes there, typically majority of the clients that I'm working with are purchasing, they choose this, general residence homestead exemption. And as I said, you only check this if it applies to you. But if it does not, just check this, because that's the homestead exemption and that will help you in your taxes. And again, don't forget to provide your driver's license, and your driver's license should match the address of the property for which you are filing an exemption. So if there are additional questions that you have, I suggest to read this important information here. It will detail your questions and the required documentations that you will need. See, like here, attach a copy of property owner's driver's license, address listed on the driver's license, or state issued personal identification certificate must correspond to the property address for which exemption is requested. So before filing for homestead, make sure first to apply for your driver's license and the driver's license should show your current property address, the one that you're applying for exemption, or else they'll not acknowledge it, okay? Because that's one of the requirements that you will need in order to file for homestead. Okay, so far, that's what you will need. And here are the exemption qualifications. Property was owned and occupied as owner's principal residence on January 1. As I've said, this form is not yet updated. It still shows the deadline. But if you purchased a home this year, example, you closed yesterday, then you can already file for a homestead, even though you have not resided since January 1. Okay? I hope this explanation on how to file homestead has helped you a bit. And if ever you have any questions as to the filing, I suggest for, let's say, for your respective counties, it will have like a help here, like for here in Harris County Appraisal District, help@hcad.org. You can reach out to them, email them, or you can call them at their number, and their number is listed on the main website, the help here. Frequently asked questions, by the way, it's all here. Okay? All of them are here. So I suggest you read that, and you can call also their line number. And usually when I call them, one time I called Harris County Appraisal District, it took, I was on hold for a long time. So what I did is I just left a voicemail for them to call me back, and they called me the next day. So just to give you a heads up on that. If you have any questions in particular, because I suggest if you have any questions as far as completing the form, just call them directly. But other than that, like in here in Montgomery, the same thing. They have their interactive search map, property search. And for filling up this information, I know I've created a video on how to file for homestead last year. It would be something similar. And right now, I don't think they updated this information because it still says you must file the complete application beginning January 1, no later than April 30th, in order for you to request an exemption. If you purchased a home last year, 2021, make sure to file for a homestead as early as you can, since they have not changed the form yet. But there is a new rule, a new law, not really a new rule, but a new law, effective January 1, 2022, beginning January 1, 2022, new homeowners will now be allowed to file for and receive their homestead exemption on the date of the same year as their purchase. The current law states homeowners must wait until the following year to file for exemption, which last year, 2021, nobody filed for homestead, right? So we are waiting for today, January 5, earliest January 1, to file for it. So if you bought your property this year, okay, January 5, you closed this year, you can file for homestead already. You don't have to wait the next year of January 1 to file for it, okay? So that's good news. As far as deadline is concerned, basing it from here, in my opinion, there should be no deadline because you can file homestead as soon as your deed is recorded. It's already in there. So I don't think there's a deadline. But for now, it says here there is a deadline, okay? Because this is an old form. So better to file it while, in order not to miss that deadline. But as I said, if you bought a property this year, file it after the deed is recorded, if possible. Okay, hope it helps. And if you have any questions, let me know or reach out to your respective county appraisal districts. Again, thank you so much for watching. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be part of my insider real estate tips and secrets. Hit the like and notification bell to receive up-to-the-minute videos every week.